And this may be the hottest story of the day. There are calls to block what is about to be the toughest immigration mandate in America. Arizona's Attorney General says that the governor should veto a controversial new crackdown on border crossing, one that makes it a state crime to be in the country illegally. It also loosens the laws, regarding how you can stop someone or ask them for their papers. Now, the state's top prosecutor claims that the bill won't help, that it's not going to improve security. Instead, he is urging President Obama to get the feds to step up their enforcement, because this has been an untenable situation now on the border between Mexico and Arizona. And that is how we start a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. Good morning again, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum.
And I'm Greg Jordan for Bill Hemmer, who's on assignment. This bill passed by the Arizona legislature set to give police the power to arrest anybody suspected of being an illegal immigrant, and it is causing, as you might imagine, quite a stir from coast to coast and across the border itself.
Yeah. All focus is on this area right now, and William Lajeunesse is there. He is just outside of Phoenix. What exactly would this bill do, William?
Well, Martha, Governor Jan Brewer could sign this bill as early as today. Let me tell you what it will do. Right now, we all know that it's illegal to cross the border illegally from Mexico. This bill makes it a crime to be in the U.S. illegally. Because the reality is right now, if a guy gets past the Border Patrol and they keep their nose clean, they're pretty much home free. Not anymore. Now, if a cop in Arizona has a reasonable suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant, you don't speak English, you're a day laborer over at Home Depot, he will can ask you for a valid ID, and if you cannot produce one, you can be detained and deported.
When one becomes proactive in addressing illegal immigration, what happened when we did that here in Phoenix and modified our policy, crime, it didn't fall, it plummeted.
As a city, we're bound to uphold the law. It's just going to be very inconvenient, very costly, and very not acceptable.
Now, the bill also basically prohibits cities from passing a so-called sanctuary ordinance, and then if citizens don't believe the cops are doing their job aggressive enough, they can sue the city, and for a violation, $1,000 to $5,000 per violation. Martha?
All right, so those are some of the pros and cons that we've seen of passing this immigration legislation, and it's become a very heated political question as well. We spoke to some folks just a little while ago, William, and they were talking about it becoming a political issue, that they want the president to put pressure on this issue. Tell us about that.
Well, let's start with the problems and the pro and con. Let's take a town like Towson, Arizona, just outside Phoenix, predominantly Hispanic. Are they going to go round up 65% of the town's population and ask for ID? Probably not. However, number one, the city say it's expensive. You arrest somebody, the county's going to bill you $100 per guy that you send down to the county jail. Number two, there's a fear that if an illegal immigrant is a victim of a crime, let's say you're battered by your husband, they're not going to call the cops because they fear they'll be deported. And finally, they believe it gives the cops a license to racially profile. If you're brown, you're at the mall, I'm going to ask you for ID. Cops say that is not the case. The state is 25% Hispanic, and they say that the bill actually prohibits cops from using race as a sole reason for stopping an individual. And what is probably going to happen is the police departments work at the behest of the city council, and the community is going to, the level of enforcement, let's say, is going to be reflective of what that community wants. But I will tell you, a Scott Rasmussen poll being released today says 70% of Arizona supports this bill. Now, you talked about the politics, Martha. Governor Jan Brewer is under a lot of pressure to veto this bill. On one hand, there's people chained down at the Capitol right now. But remember, she's in a Republican primary right now. The Attorney General is her likely opponent. He's taken one side, he's a Democrat, she's a Republican. Many believe that she does not have the capacity in a Republican primary right now, if she wants to win that race, to veto this bill. Martha?
Fascinating. We're actually going to talk to Scott Rasmussen about those polls, which no doubt Jan Brewer is going to be pouring over today and getting a look at as well. William Lajeunesse, thank you very much.